Hello everyone, I, Kundan Chandrakar, welcome you all to the SWAYAM online course lecture on Health and Safety for Scaffolding and Scaffolding Work lesson summary. Now, coming today's lecture, in this video, we are going to learn about purpose of scaffolding safety, scaffolding accident prevention and safe work procedure for working on scaffolding. Here are the contents part. This content will be covered in our video. The first topic is that health and safety for scaffolding and scaffolding work. Second is that purpose of scaffolding safety. Third is that safe work procedure for working on scaffolding. And the last one is a scaffolding accident prevention. Health and safety are paramount in scaffolding work to prevent accidents, injury and fatalities. The following guidelines outline key consider to ensure a safe working environment during scaffolding erection, use and dismantling. Let us discuss the general health and safety guidelines part. The first topic is that training. Ensure that all individually involved in scaffolding work are adequately trained and competent in scaffolding training and assemble, use and disassembling. Training should include hazards, recognize and proper use of personal protective equipment, that is called PPE. Second important point is that inspection. Conduct through inspection of scaffolding before each use, after alternation and at regular interval. Check for damage, missing component and adhering to safety standards. Second is that competency. Assign responsibility based on the competency of individual. Qualified personnel should handle scaffolding assembly, supervision and inspection part. Next topic is that communication. Establish clear communication channel among worker on scaffold. Use signal radio and other communication devices to coordinate actively safely. Next point is that fall protection. Implementing fall protection measures including guardrail, midrail and toy board and fall arrested system for worker at height. Next topic is that platform stabilities. Ensure that the scaffold platform are fully planked and ducted with no gaps. Platform should be capable of scaffolding and the intended load without tilting or collapsing. Next is the weather condition. Avoid working on scaffolding during aggressive weather conditions such as high wind, rain and snow. If work must continue, take additional precaution and ensure platform are not slippery. Next topic is that emergency procedure. Establish a communicate emergency procedure, individually excavate, plan and location of first aid kit and emergency contact information. Next is that personal protective equipment, that is called PPE. Ensure that worker wear appropriate PPE including helmets, glove, non-slip footwears and high visibility clothing. Next is a tool and equipment safety. Secure tool and material to prevent them for falling. Use tool lanyards or other securing method to avoid dropping object from height. Next is a regulatory compliances. Address to local, regional and national regulation regarding scaffolding safety. Familiarize yourself with the specific requirement in your judiciary. Let us discuss the next important point, that is scaffold assembly and use. First is that follow manufacturer guidelines. Adhere strictly to manufacturer guideline and specification for assembling, disassembling and using scaffolding. Each system may have specific requirements. Second is that proper foundation. Set up scaffolding on a stable and level surface. Use base plate, mud steel and other appropriate means to ensure that solid foundations. Next point is that access and egress. Provide safe access to and egress from the scaffolding using ladder, stair, tower and other designated means. Worker should not climb on cross braces or other non-designed area. Next is a dynamic load consideration. Consider dynamic load such as worker moving on, material being transferred when accessing the load capacity of scaffolding. Next is a load limit. adhere strictly to the load limit specified by the scaffold manufacturer, never exceed the maximum load capacity. Let us discuss scaffolding dismantling part. First topic is that proper dismantling. Follow the manufacturer guidelines and industry standards for the proper disassemble of scaffolding. Never take shortcut or omit any components. Second is that inspection during disassembly. Conduct inspection during the disassembly process to identify any issues promptly. Pay attention to connections, joint and overall stabilities of the structure. Next is a controlled dismantling. Dismantle scaffolding in a controlled manner. Ensure that components are lowered safely and that workers below are adequately protected. By integrating these health and safety guidelines into scaffolding work, you can contribute to the safer working environment, reduce the risk of accident and protect the well-being of workers. Always consult with safety professionals and adhere to local regulation and industry standards. Let us discuss the purpose of scaffolding. Why we are using in scaffolding structure. The purpose of scaffolding safety is to protect the well-being of workers and create a secure working environment during construction, maintenance and other activities that involve work at height. Scaffolding safety measures all implementation to prevent accident, injuries, fatalities associated with the use of scaffolding structure. The key purpose of scaffolding safety includes the first one is accident prevention. The primary purpose of scaffolding safety is to prevent accident and minimize the risk of falls, collapse and other incidents that could result in injury and fatalities. Second is a worker protection. Worker protection. Scaffolding safety measures aim to protect worker from potential hazard associated with working at elevated levels. This includes providing fall protection system, ensure stable platform and using personal protective equipment. Second is a regulatory compliances with local, regional and national safety regulation and standards is that critical purpose of scaffolding safety. Addressing to this regulation ensure that scaffolding activity meet established safety requirements. The next is the risk mitigation. Scaffolding safety protocols are designed to identify the mitigate risk associated with scaffolding assembly, use and dismantling. This include accessing structure integrity, load capacity and environmental factors. Next topic is that the increased efficiency. Implementing scaffolding safety measures can contribute to increased efficiency on construction site. Worker can focus on their task without concern for their safety, leading to improved productivity. Next point is that enhanced communication. Scaffolding safety measures often involve clear communication channel among workers on the scaffold. This helps coordinate activity, reduce the risk of accident due to miscommunication, and improve overall workplace communication. Let us discuss the protection against falling. Object: scaffolding safety include measures to prevent tools, material, or debris from falling from elevated platform, protecting not only worker on the scaffold but also those working below. Next topic is that structure stabilities. Ensure the structural stabilities of scaffolding is a core purpose of safety. This involves proper assembly, inspection and maintenance to prevent collapse or failure that could pose serious risk. Next topic is that legal liability reductions. Addressing to scaffolding safety regulation help reduce legal liabilities for employers and project manager. Compliance with the safety standard minimize the risk of legal action and associated liabilities. Next is that long-term worker health. Scaffolding safety measures contribute to long-term health and well-being of worker by minimize exposure to hazards that could lead to injury, disabilities or chronic health issues. Next is that emergency preparedness. Scaffolding safety include planning for emergency situation such as excavation procedure, first aid availability, and communication protocol during emergencies. The last topic is that positive workplace culture. Fostering a culture of safety create a positive work environment where employees feel valuable and cared for, leading to increased moral and job satisfaction. In summary, the purpose of scaffolding safety is multifaceted, encompassed and protection of workers, compliance with regulation, risk reduction, and overall improvement of workplace condition, prioritizing safety contribution to more efficient and positive working environment. Let us discuss the next important topic is that safe work procedure for working on scaffolding. Safe work procedure for working on scaffolding are essential to prevent accident, injury and fatalities. Here are the guidelines of safe work procedure on scaffoldings. The first topic is that before work begin. First is the training. Ensure that all workers involved in a scaffolding work are trained and competent in scaffolding assembly, use and dismantling. Training should be include hazard recognition and emergency procedure. Second is that pre-work inspection. Conduct a thorough inspection of scaffolding before each use. Check the damage, missing component and structural stabilities. Address any issues before allowing work to proceed. Second is a competency assessment. Assess the competency of individually assigned to scaffolding assembly, use and supervision. Qualified personnel should handle this task. Next is a communication plan. Establish a clear communication plan among workers on a scaffold. Use signals, radio and other communication devices to coordinate actively safely. Second, scaffold assembly. First topic is that follow manufacturer guidelines. Address strictly to the manufacturer guidelines and specification for scaffolding assembly. Each scaffolding system may have specific requirement. Second is that proper foundation. Set up scaffolding on a stable and level surface. Use base plate, mud steel and other appropriate means to secure solid foundation. Next is a dynamic load consider. Consider dynamic load and such as worker moving and material being transferred when accessing the load capacity of the scaffolding. Next is a guardrail and fall protection. Install guardrail, mid-rail and toy board and personal fall arrestor system for working at height. And next is that platform stabilities. Ensure that scaffold platform are fully planked and detected with there is no gap. Platform should be capable and supported for intense load without tilting and collapsing. Access and egress. Provide safe access and egress from the scaffolding using ladders and stair towers or other designed means. Workers should not climb and cross braces with other designated area. Next is that weight limit. Address strictly to weight limit specific by the scaffold manufacturer. Never exceed the maximum load capacity. Next is a tool and equipment safety. Secure tool and material to prevent them for falling any kind of object. Use tool lanyards and other securing method to avoid dropping object from height. Next is that weather condition. Avoid working on scaffolding for addressing weather conditions such as heavy winds, rain and snow. It is a must continue to take additionally precaution and ensure platforms are not slippery. Let us discuss the next important topic is that scaffolding dismantling part. Proper dismantling. Follow the manufacturer guidelines and industry standard for proper dismantling of scaffolding. Never take shortcut on omit any component. Next is that inspection during dismantling. Conduct inspection during the dismantling process to identify any issues. Promptly pay attention to connections, joint and overall stabilities of the structure. Next is that controlled dismantling. Dismantling is scaffolding in a controlled manner, ensuring that the components are lowered safety and the worker below the adequate protected. Next is that emergency procedure. Emergency contact information. Ensure that the emergency contact available on their websites and work sites also, including the location of first aid kit and medical facilities in emergency plan. Next is that evaluation plan. Establish and communication evaluation plan for emergencies. Workers should know the location of emergency exit and assembly point. The last topic is that first aid training. Provide first aid training to worker and ensure that the first aid kit are accessible and well stocked. By following this safe work procedure, you contribute to a secure working environment, reduce the risk of accident, and protect the well-being of worker involved in scaffolding activity. Always consult with safety professional and address the local regulation and industry standards. Let us discuss scaffolding accident prevention part. Preventing scaffolding accident is that crucial to ensure the safety of worker at construction sites. Here are the some key measures for best practices for scaffolding accident prevention. First is that training and competency. Let us discuss the major part, that is ensure all personnel involved in scaffolding work are adequately trained and competent in scaffolding assembly, use and dismantling. Let us discuss best practices. Provide comprehensive training that include hazards recognition, proper use of equipment and emergency procedure. Second is that regular inspection. Major part is that conduct regular inspection of scaffolding before each use, after alternation and regular interval. The best practices is that inspect for damage, missing component and addressing to safety standard. Address any issues before allowing work to proceed. Third is that follow manufacturer guidelines. Major part is that addressing strict to the manufacturer guidelines and specification of scaffolding assembly, use and dismantling. The best practices is that familiarize worker with the specific requirement of the scaffolding system being used and ensure compliances. The fourth important point is that proper foundation. Major part is that set up scaffolding on a stable and level surface using base plate, mud rail and other appropriate means. The best practices is that avoid unstable or uneven ground and ensure the scaffold is supported on the solid foundations. The next point is that fall protection. The major part is that implementation fall protection measure including guardrail, mid-rail, toy board and personal protective fall arrestor system for working at height. The best practices is that regularly inspect and maintain fall protection equipment, ensure workers are properly trained in its use. The sixth point is that dynamic load consideration. Major part is that consider dynamic loads such as worker moving in a material being transferred when accessing the load capacity of scaffold. The best practices plan to potential charges in load during work activity and ensure the scaffold can safely accommodate dynamic loads. 7 is that weather condition. Measure avoid working on a scaffolding during aggressive weather conditions such as high winds, rain and snow. The best practices is that monitor weather forecast and suspend work during inclement weather. Use weather resistance material and covering when needed. The 8th point is that proper access and egress. Measure provide safe access to and egress from the scaffolding using ladder, stair towers and other designated means. The best practices is that prohibit climbing on cross braces and other non-designed area. Ensure access points are secure and properly maintained. The 9th point is that tool and equipment safety. Measure secure tool and material to prevent them from falling. The best practices is that use tool lanyards, nets and other secure method. Establish clear procedure for handling and securing tools. The 10th important point is that emergency procedure. Measure, establish and communicate emergency procedure including excavation plan and the location of first aid kits. Best practices conduct regular drilling to ensure worker and familiarize with emergency procedure. Clearly mark emergency exits. The 11th point is that communication. Measure, establish clear communication channel among worker on scaffold. The best practices use signal radio or other communication devices to coordinate actively, safely and encourage open communication about safety concern. The 12th point is that regular training and refresher course. Measure provide ongoing training on refresher course for worker involved in scaffolding work. The best practices is that keep worker updated on the latest safety procedure, regulation, equipment, reinforcement, and the importance of addressing to safety protocol. Next topic is that record keeping. Measure maintain the record training, inspection and incident related to scaffolding work. The best practices use record to track compliance, identify trends, and continuously improve safety practices. By implementing these measures and best practices, construction site can significantly reduce the risk of scaffolding accidents, creating a safe working environment for all personnel involved. Regular communication, training, and vigilance are key components of an effective scaffolding safety program. With this, we will end our today's lecture here. Thank you for your patience and we will meet in our next lecture. Thank you.